Yeah. Come in, Tom.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry I'm a bit late. I didn't get your message on time, actually.
No matter, no matter.
R&D costs again, is it?
Nice spell we're having at last, eh?
Yes, not before time. I really do think that we've had a long-term climatic change. I was reading somewhere the other day.
The Harlow figures are still very disappointing.
Yes, well...
By this stage, on any comparable research, we would have had at least 18 months return on capital. Isn't that so?
Yes, but look, Mr. Blake, we can't compare like with unlike.
Except on a balance sheet, Tom. All things show up in a column,
yes,
eventually.
What I mean is it's unreasonable to compare biochemical research with something with, or, well, say, a more mechanical sort of...
Really? You think so?
I know so.
Nevertheless.
But yes, quite, I take your point.
As I'm sure you do, Tom. It was, your recommendation, wasn't it? The mushroom laboratory?
In a way, yes.
Do you happen to know what proportion of our turnover comes from the sale of mushrooms?
I know it's a growing percentage.
0.7%.
Yes. Is it?
As it is in the new R&D budget, taking 4.2% of total allocation.
I know that the initial results have been somewhat disappointing, but then that's often the way it goes.
Not too often, one hopes.
The total value of that whole UK mushroom crop is already more than the combined value of indoor lettuce and homegrown tomatoes.
Yes. 14 million a year.
Oh, yes.
Which is, not speaking literally, of course, chicken feed.
Well,
mind you, I wish it was chicken feed. You could treble all the figures then easily.
Look, if you extend the mushroom line into the future, you get a very different picture.
No, not a different picture exactly. You get a forecast.
25 years ago, the man who put in enough work to get out 10,000 pounds of mushrooms could now manage to cover 250,000 pounds. And then, once we get mechanized pickers...
Which means a standard-sized product, more or less.
Naturally.
Look, I'm not here to cross-examine you on the theoretical merits of the laboratory.
All right. And all our experience has shown that such a standard size would carry over to a greater point of sale acceptability.
No, I don't doubt that.
So essentially we have a biochemical problem, which is often more difficult.
Unless you inverted the approach and examined the mechanical picker rather than the thing being picked. Wouldn't you say so?
I did go into this pretty thoroughly, Mr. Blake.
You went into it pretty thoroughly from the crop end, yes, but not the picker end. Might have been, well, less expensive the other way round.
But even so, the mechanizers depend on satisfactorily solving the sexual instability of the mushroom.
This is in danger of becoming a ludicrous conversation, Tom.
But that's as maybe. The whole point of the project, which I initiated and you okayed, is that the species on which virtually the whole of the mushroom industry depends.
Agaricus bisporus.
Yes, the species. You know that now. This species reproduces vegetative, but in practice not stably enough. And the research is to codify their genetic background to get out the right kind of hybrid.
Suitable for automation in the harvesting.
Yeah.
Whereas I say, admittedly with hindsight, that a more adaptable harvester appears to be the less costly, and above all, the more certain line of research.
How can you say more certain? I mean, how do you know?
I don't know if we're absolutely sure, naturally.
Well, balancing one imponderable against another, that's all.
No, no.
Well, that's just the way I see it.
Yes. That is what I'm afraid of. All I'm saying, and it seems entirely reasonable to me, is that the logic of the situation would lead me, if it were my responsibility, to place greater faith upon a line of research entirely and predictably mechanical, rather than squander quite so much money on a program designed to obliterate the notorious sexual instability of a mushroom. Well, what do you say to that?
What do I say to that?
That's why we're here, isn't it?
I'll tell you what I say to that.
Now, Tom.
Bollocks. That's what I say to that.
Thank you, Tom. That's so succinct, I think I'll make a note of it on the file.
Yes, yes, you do that.
Well, I won't keep you from your work.
I know I'm the one who 10 years ago advised against scampi. Never catch on, I said. Ha!
No need to go into that now.
And the result, shits like you were promoted over my head. I also advised against chocolate-coated ants and frozen pizzas and...
This is a very volatile trade.
You're so smug, aren't you?
Yes. Well, I think that'll be about all for now. Thank you so much for your help.
I didn't mean to overreact, you know.
Quite all right. No matter.
Thank you. Bolts.
I say, Tom, are you all right?
Yes, fine, thank you.
No, my dear husband never does anything extraordinary. Never says anything unexpected, and no, he doesn't know about...
About me?
No, he doesn't know. Oh, gosh, I can feel my face tingling. It must be the shock.
Have some more.
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, there we are. Just a little one, Mother.
That makes me feel funny calling you that.
I can't stay, can't I?
Yes.
So what are you going to tell your husband? Who am I supposed to be? Why don't you tell him?
I nearly spilled it. What?
Why don't you tell him you had a baby before he came on the scene?
I say, I feel a bit pie-eyed, Adrian.
Glenn.
Oh, don't let's talk about my